What's going on? What's going on, you guys? Today's show is brought to you by Amazon.com. If you're going to shop on Amazon, here's what you can do to help the show out as well. Go to lookingbackpodcast.com, click the Amazon banner on the front page. That takes you to Amazon.com just like normal. But out of whatever you buy, they send back a percentage to me, and it would really help the show out. We're also brought to you by PayPal. If you wish to make a donation to the podcast, if you believe in what I'm trying to do and what I'm doing with this podcast, and you want to show your financial support, you can donate to the podcast as well. Lookingbackpodcast.com. Click the donate button on the bottom of the page. And you can make a one-time donation or a monthly recurring donation if you wish. Those who donate will help create content for future shows, subject matters, things like that. We're also brought to you by something new. I'm not getting paid for this, but I do believe in this product, and that is Kicking Horse Coffee. I don't have a store. There's a store near me called Natural Grocers, and they're like a Whole Foods, but not as big, and it really is just a really great store. I really do enjoy going there. I probably go there a little too much, but it's all good. Anyway, yeah, Kicking Horse Coffee is really, really good. I actually bought my first bag that I saw. Um, some really awesome names for this stuff. The one I have is called Kick Ass. And they have some really great ones that I'm going to check out. 454 horsepower, Cliffhanger Espresso. It's not espresso. There's no S. There's an S. X. There's no X in espresso. See, I pronounced the words right when my dumb monkey brain can work with me. Grizzly Claw. They have a Hoodoo Joe. They have a Kootenai Crossing. It's a light one. Just some really cool stuff. I really do enjoy the Kick-Ass blend. It's a dark roast, and that's what I'm actually having right now, and it's really, really good. And if you want to check them out, you can click the logo on the front page of the website, lookingbackpodcast.com. And if you like trying new coffees, they're really great. They're out of Canada. All of their coffee is 100% organic. It's fair trade, and it's really, really cool that I found a new coffee company that does things ethically and that does things right. So there you go. Kicking Horse Coffee, the Kick-Ass blend. The dark roast is really good. They have tea as well if you want to do tea. They have chocolate. They have, if you want to do like home brewing stuff, they have you covered there. Mugs and things like that. Mugs and T-shirts and tumblers and all sorts of really cool stuff. So there you go. Gift sets. If you want to do a gift set, they got you covered there. Chocolates and coffees and things like that. But yeah, I'll tell you what, the Kick-Ass blend is really good. I love that one. So there we go. Enough rambling. Good Lord, this is going on for about 4 minutes. We're going to continue our series on Monty Python, and we're going to get into one of my favorite Monty Python films. Let's take a look back at Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
And now for something completely different.
Monty Python, the Flying Circus.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Looking Back. And right off the jump, I have a little bit of a sinus issue going on. My right ear is a little muffled, so I might be talking a little bit slower. I'm okay. It's just a sinus thing, and yeah. So there you go. Um, we're going to continue our series on Monty Python, and in the last episode we talked about their, I guess, first um, film, and now for something completely different, which was really just a compilation of sketches from the first two series of the TV show Monty Python's Flying Circus. We're going to talk about their second film and one of my personal favorites, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It came out in 1975 and it was written and performed by Monty Python and was directed by Terry Gilliam and Terry Jones. It was conceived during the hiatus between the first and fourth series of their TV show, Monty Python's Flying Circus. Holy Grail, in contrast with And Now for Something Completely Different, it was composed of new material, and so it's therefore considered the first proper film by them. And it generally parodies the legend of King Arthur's quest to find the Holy Grail. And the film was a success in its initial release, and Eric Idle used the film as the inspiration for the 2005 Tony Award winning musical Spamalot, which we will get into in a future show. The film was a box office success, grossing the highest of any British film shown in the US in 1975, and it's remained popular ever since, receiving critical acclaim. The film received a 97% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and in the US, the film was selected as the second best comedy of all time on an ABC Film Special Best in Film, the greatest movies of our time. In the UK, readers of Total Film magazine ranked it the fifth greatest comedy film of all time, and a similar poll of Channel 4 viewers placed the film sixth in the year 2000. A little bit of not really a summary, no, I don't know, I want to say spoiler, but you know what? Definitely still watch it. It's still a hilarious movie. Um, King Arthur, along with his squire Patsy, recruits his knights of the Round Table: Sir Bedivere the Wise, Sir Launcelot the Brave, Sir Galahad the Pure, and Sir Robin the not quite so brave as Sir Launcelot, and the aptly named Sir not appearing in this film. Along the way, Arthur battles the Black Knight. He chops off the Black Knight's arms and legs, but the Black Knight refuses to surrender despite being fatally wounded. The knights reach Camelot, but following a song and dance cutaway, Arthur decides not to enter because "'tis a silly place," and they're instructed by God to seek the Holy Grail. Their first stop is a French-controlled castle where they believe the Grail is held. After being insulted by a soldier with a strong French accent, they try sneaking into the castle in a Trojan rabbit. The plan goes awry when they forget to hide inside it first. The rabbit's catapulted back at them with an assortment of animals and waste. Arthur decides the group should separate to seek the Grail. A modern-day historian serves as an on-camera documentary presenter, describing the Arthurian legends, and he's abruptly killed by Lancelot on horseback, triggering a police investigation. Each of the knights encounters various perils on his quest. Arthur and Bedivere attempt to satisfy the strange requests of the dreaded knights who say "Nee!" And Sir Robin narrowly avoids a fight with the three-headed giant by running away when their heads are arguing, causing embarrassment as the minstrel sings "Brave Sir Robin ran away," and Sir Galahad is led by a grail-shaped beacon to the castle Anthrax, populated by women who wish to perform sexual favors for him, but he is rescued by Lancelot from the, quote, perilous situation, somewhat against his will. Lancelot then finds a note tied to an arrow, and after reading it, assaults a wedding party at Swamp Castle, believed them to be holding a lady against her will. He discovers that an effeminate prince sent the note. The knights regroup with three new knights: Sir Gawain, Sir Ector, and Sir Bors, and a group of monks led by Brother Maynard. They travel to see Tim the Enchanter, who points them to caves where the location of the Grail is written on the walls. To enter the caves, the group must first defeat the killer rabbit of Carbonog, and they do so using the holy hand grenade of Antioch, courtesy of Brother Maynard, after the rabbit kills Gawain, Ector, and Bors. They enter the cave and are attacked by the legendary black beast of Ar, which devours Brother Maynard. Arthur and his knights barely escape by virtue of the beast's animator suffering a fatal heart attack. And with their final destination known, they travel to the Bridge of Death, where each knight is forced to answer 3 questions by the bridge keeper before he may cross the Gorge of Eternal Peril. Lancelot easily answers his questions and crosses the bridge, but Robin and Galahad are confounded by difficult questions and thrown into the chasm. Arthur then accidentally asks the bridge keeper a question, and the bridge keeper is thrown into a chasm himself for not knowing the answer. Lancelot becomes separated from Arthur and Bedivere and is later arrested by police for the murder of the historian. Arthur and Bedivere travel to the Grail castle where they find occupied by the same French forces that insulted and drove them off earlier. The knights amass a large army and prepare to storm the castle, but just as they begin to charge, the modern police arrive on the scene. Arthur and Bedivere are arrested, one of the officers covers the lens with his hand, and then the film breaks in the projector and runs out of the gate, putting an abrupt end to the film. The movie is a parody based on the legend of King Arthur and the Holy Grail. It mimics and reflects the characters of the King Arthur legend as well as plots of the myth. It's considered a satire, as the film makes fun of the Middle Ages as a broader society and a time period as well as overarching themes such as chivalry. With the production of the film, it was shot mostly on location in Scotland, and many castles seen throughout the film were either down castle, shot from a different angle, or hanging miniatures. There are several exceptions to this. The very first exterior shot of a castle at the beginning is Kidwelly Castle in South Wales, and the single exterior shot of Swamp Castle is Budingham Castle in East Sussex. All subsequent shots of the exterior and interior of those scenes were filmed at Down Castle. On the commentary, John Cleese expresses irritation at a scene set in Castle Anthrax where he said the focus was on technical aspects rather than comedy. In the scene where the knights were combating the killer rabbit, a real white rabbit was used, and he was dyed with what was assumed to be washable red coloring in shots after the battle. When the film wrapped, the rabbit's owner was dismayed to learn that the dye could not be rinsed off. Gilliam described in an audio commentary the owner of the rabbit was present, and shooting was abruptly halted, while the cast attempted desperately to clean the rabbit before the owner found out, which was an unsuccessful attempt. He also stated that he thought that had they'd been more experienced in filmmaking, the crew would have purchased a rabbit instead. Otherwise, the rabbit itself was unharmed. Also, the rabbit bite effects were done by special puppetry by both Gilliam and SFX technician John Horton. As chronicled in the life of Python, as well as the Python's autobiography, it is revealed that Chapman was suffering from acrophobia, trembling in bouts of forgetfulness during the film, especially during filming. These were the results of his long-standing alcoholism, and he decided for that moment to remain on an even keel while the production continued. Nearly 3 years after Holy Grail, he vowed to quit altogether, which he successfully achieved in 1977. Originally, the Knights were going to ride real horses, but after it became clear the film's small budget wouldn't be able to make that happen, they decided their characters would mime horse riding, while the porters trotted behind them banging coconut shells together. The joke was derived from the old-fashioned sound effect used by radio shows to convey the sound of horse hooves, and this is later referred to in the German release of the film, which translated as the title translated as Der Ritter der Kokosnuss, the Knights of the Coconut. The film had its television debut in February of 1977 on CBS Late Movie, and reportedly the Pythons were displeased to discover a number of edits were done by the network to reduce the use of profanity and the showing of blood. The troupe pulled back the rights and thereafter had it broadcast in the US only on PBS and other channels such as IFC, where it ran uncut. There were some the legacy of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It garnered and received critical acclaim, and it is a cult classic to this day. In the year 2000, readers of Total Film magazine voted it the 5th greatest comedy film of all time. In 2005, the film spawned a Tony Award winning Broadway musical play called Spamalot. In 2011, an ABC special called Best in Film, the greatest movies of our time, which counted down the best films chosen by fans based on the results of a poll conducted by ABC and People magazine. Holy Grail was selected as the second best film. In 2013, the Pythons lost a case to Mark Forster, the film producer, over royalties from the work of Spamalot. They owed a combined £800,000 in legal fees and back royalties to Forstater. There is a lot of pop culture influence with um, Monty Python. The 1997 video game Shadow Warrior by 3D Realms, there's a secret area on level 4 that takes you to a cave guarded by a vicious white rabbit. There is in the 1998 video game Duke Nukem Time to Kill that features Duke Nukem traveling to various time periods, including medieval Europe, and he uses holy hand grenades. In the Star Trek The Next Generation novel Doomsday World, Geordi LaForge is sitting in a bar, the proprietor of which is described as knowing everything about anything, and he asks the bartender some obscure questions about dimensions, the climate of the planet they're on, which the bartender answers immediately and correctly. Geordi then asks what is the airspeed uh, velocity of an unladen swallow, to which the bartender replies African or European. Geordi is forced to concede, saying, "Damn, he's good." In 1999, the PC game Heroes of Might and Magic 3 included a series of cheat codes that are either directly related or actual quotes from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Using a cheat code, however, soils the player's score by changing their name to Cheater, with an exception for the Sir Robin code. In 2007, the film Shrek the Third includes a scene in which a character is banging coconuts together to simulate the sound of horse hooves. Although both Cleese and Idle were featured in the film in voice form, Idle stated that he did not know and did not approve of the use of the gag for the film. He claimed to be considering suing the producers for the unauthorized use of the gag, while the producers claimed they were honoring Idle and Cleese by its use. In the MMORPG Wizard 101, a mount released on April 1st, 2014, called Mighty Steed, features two coconut shells the player hits together as they move. That is literally all there is about Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It is, quite frankly, one of my all-time favorite um, Monty Python movies. And in the next episode, we will talk about. Honestly, it's one of my my favorite Monty Python films, and it caused a lot of controversy when it came out. That film being um, Monty Python and the Life of Brian. We will talk about that one on the next episode. Until then, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Make sure to check out the website, lookingbackpodcast.com. If you want to shop at Amazon, use the Amazon link. If you want to donate, click the donate button on the bottom of the page. And if you want to check out Kicking Horse Coffee, that is available there as well. Just kick, don't kick. Just click the logo and check out the website there, Kicking Horse Coffee, and see if it's something you're interested in. So with that, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other.